Welcome everyone back to Hard Truth Hoop, brought to you by the Unapologetic Sports Network. I'm your host Anthony. This is my co-host Michavan. Michavan, how you feeling today?
Feeling good, bright and early this morning.
Hey, we are up early because it is playoff Saturday. The playoffs officially start today. We're going to talk about the playoffs. We're going to talk about who we got winning each series in the first round. Um, but before we get into that, I want to talk about the playing games. The last playing games just happened last night. Before we get into last night's games, I want to, give the fans who might not know a rundown on how we got here. So the playoff games started a few nights ago. I want to say it was on Monday when it started, or Tuesday, sorry. And it was the Hornets versus the Miami Heat. The Hornets won that. LaMelo Ball had a game-winning layup. Then it was the Suns versus the Blazers. The Blazers won that. Blazers won off of Denny Avdia game-winning layup as well. So the Blazers get the 7th seed. The Hornets stayed alive. The Heat were out, and the Suns had to play tonight. Um, Philly ended up beating Orlando. Philly got the 7th seed. Um, the Warriors beat the Clippers. Now, this is the first game I actually want to stop and talk about because the other games, I mean, I had Philly versus Miami. I think you would say the same. The Suns versus Blazers. I don't have as much to say about that game just because I didn't think the Blazers were. Remember we talked about this earlier in the year. I was like, I think the Blazers might make the playoffs, and you was like, "There's no way." Told you. But the Suns, since they had another shot, and I was like, I figured they would still be in the playoffs anyways. Um, I wasn't tripping about that. It's honestly the Clippers losing to the Warriors. I'm just like, I'm watching this game, and I've heard people say it. The Clippers gonna clip. And literally 4 minutes left in the game, they started clipping. I don't know. They just started not doing nothing, and the Warriors are coming down. You got Al Horford, splash. You got Curry, splash. You got Porzingis, splash. You got Guy Santos, splash. You got Bernard Podziemski, splash. And then you got Draymond barking at Kawhi, just dogging him. Just Kawhi couldn't do nothing. Seatbelt. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand what happened there. But the Clippers, you know what? They shouldn't even been here. They started off so bad. Just shout out to them for, turning their season around, but going to Cancun, buddy. But then last night, the last games happened. Um, Orlando beat the America's team, the Charlotte Hornets. How are you feeling about that?
Man, Charlotte let me down, man. Charlotte let me down. When I was watching that game last night, the first game, Charlotte versus Orlando, one thing that I saw, you can see in the play-ins, in the playing games, the officiating has already changed, and it is playoff officiating.
Hey,
They
I'm
are letting
loving it.
them play.
I'm loving it. Even though I wanted
And,
the Hornets to win, I'm loving the physical, and it got real physical in the Suns versus Warriors game that we'll talk about too.
yep, it sure did. And they are letting them play. They're letting them be physical,
I love it.
and which is why somebody like you mentioned, like we'll get to it. Draymond Green has such a big impact, but yeah, and the one thing that was consistent, Charlotte was not ready. They was not ready. And I was hoping, I was really I thought they were ready. I thought they were slightly ready to experience the playoffs, but they just weren't. And they weren't when it came to the playing physicality that the rest were allowing them to play with. They just couldn't match Orlando's physicality at all. And that's literally what came down to it. Orlando is not, in my opinion, Orlando is not that much of a better team than Charlotte.
I don't think they are, but
I,
they
I
played
believe
better
it.
than last night. So, and then the Magic, they've had a really up and down season, a lot of injuries. A lot of people predict them to be higher than this point in the season. I mean, up to this point in the season, no one wants to see them anymore. We've seen enough of the Magic. But now we get to see at least minimum 4 more games of them. The Hornets, man, I think last game against the Heat, I think was the first time in playoff like environment in a few years. They made the play in term a few years ago, but this iteration of the team with this coaching, um, and they honestly should have lost that game, right? Their youth, should have lost in that game, but then the Heat just folded opportunity to win the game. But Yeah, this game, I think they just the physicality, like you said, Magic are a very physical team, anyways. But they just weren't ready for it. It's honestly like it was like a game two of a playoff series where they won game one, they're going off the high of game one, they should get punching them out game
Yeah.
two. And of course, different opponent, right? But and Orlando also just got embarrassed the game
Mm.
before by Philly, right? So it's like they're coming in really trying to stomp on y'all, and y'all coming in just hoping they lay down. It's like no, they weren't. Their
Yeah.
mind was on the line. I think the Hornets, winning last game because last game was the real winner go home game. They're
Mm.
probably thinking, oh, bet we won that game. We're gonna beat Orlando. That's cool. That's easy. And then Orlando came up and they actually was in Orlando. They went to Orlando house, got kicked right out like Jazz off of Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Yeah, and last thing on Charlotte was I would say what's the most disappointing, and obviously with everything that just recently happened with LaMelo Ball, and I've been a huge Ball brothers fan and stuff like that, Ball family fan, and everything, but man, he has to grow up as a superstar. Man, he has a lot of growing up to do, or as a star in this league, not a
Okay,
superstar.
superstar. Let's relax, but
Um,
I get you.
yeah, I'm gonna relax on superstar, but but that's the talent that he has, but it's just so immature. I mean, it's just so immature and it's not consistent right now. What in the first playoff game? What two for 16 from three? Like that is just that is just pathetic. And then last night, what he have? Wait, did he? I don't even think he got in double digit scoring figures.
He had
So
23, but it was the nasty,
last night,
The first game he was 12 for 31,
12
2
for
for
31.
16 from three.
It was the it
I
may have been the first half. He was like not doing anything. So excuse me for the whole game. I said that.
mean, he was 7
Um,
for 17. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't
yeah,
pretty.
yeah. Like it's just not consistent. It's just not the level that you would hope to see from Lamelo Ball. And I think that does play into this whole immaturity that is surrounding Lamelo Ball right now.
It's mm, I don't want to say it's tough, but we've seen LaMelo grow up playing this style of basketball. Um, which is the unfortunate thing for LaMelo is that we did see him grow up and we've seen that this is how he plays. So then now everyone is trying to say he needs to change his game. But it's like we've known he always played like this, or at least mature his game. But his game is his game, right? When you have Lamelo, you gotta the 1 foot threes and the erratic play. That's part of it. Now, he definitely needs to get smarter, just IQ wise, and slow the game down, and the fast play. That's definitely fun. Everyone loves it, but you know when you're trying to be a good team, you got to be able to just chucking up shots. 'Cause in the first game, he hit one. It was a step back three. He only hit two threes. It was a step back three he hit. Very next possession down. I mean, he pulled it from 40. I'm just like Lamelo. We know, like it wasn't even a surprise that he shot it. I kind of like once he made the first one, just the motion. His motion. We've seen it for 10 years. When he does that step back and his weird form jump shot, I'm just like, this is not going in. But if it did go in, it's like that's the Lamelo. That's the give and take of Lamelo. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I don't. I think it's more of he needs to mature his mind. I think it's more of
yeah,
he needs to mature his mind more than not so much his game. I think his game is fine. It can be tweaked a little bit, but I think it's more so he needs to mature his mind with this being his first opportunity, really in his whole life to play meaningful basketball.
yeah. They made the
Um,
play in. I want to say his second year or something like that, but you know, we could
yeah,
chalk that up to him still being really young and the
yeah,
team honestly, I won't say overperformed. The East wasn't as good. It's just a lot of circumstance. But then, they had the years they just had recently. And then for them to have this year, um, I want to say they got what was they record over the whole year? 'Cause they actually they went 44-38. I mean, that is a good year to build off of.
oh yeah,
Um, it's definitely unfortunate they didn't make the playoffs, but there's no shame in you know, being a non-seed, being competitive. I mean, since like the beginning of the season, um, since the beginning of the calendar year, they've been one of the best teams in the league, right? Um, so if they can take that, let me see, in January they was 11-6, February 8-3, March 10-5, April 4-2. Like they were really good. The
Yeah.
late half of the year. It was the early parts of the year in October, um, November, December, or yeah, October, November, December. That was bad, right? Uh, but then it's like if they play like how they did in 2026, take that into next season, start the season off. I think they were like 3-13 or something like that, or 7 and something. It was bad. If they can just start off, let's say next season, the first 20 games, they start off like 12-8, or 13-7, just putting them at least in a position where they're not underwater. I think they'll be a really good team as long as they keep developing, keep this young group. I think since they didn't make the playoffs, they'll get a nice pick maybe.
Mm.
So it
Things,
overall, I think it was a good year for Charlotte, despite not
yeah,
making the playoffs.
yeah, things looking up for him for sure.
Now, in the other game, the Suns versus the Warriors, well, to just go back to the Warriors even getting here, I mean, last game when they beat the Clippers, at the point when they were down to the Clippers, I'm like, this Warrior team just ain't it. I'm just like, there's something missing. And funny enough, watching everything they got with Steph, Draymond, um, it was at this point, it was like in the third quarter or maybe early fourth quarter. And Steph was doing his thing. Porzingis actually started really hooping. And I'm just like, they do got Porzingis. I'm like, bro, what are they missing? I'm like, you know what they need? They need a Jimmy Butler. That's exactly what they need. That's the exact type of player they're missing, a Jimmy Butler. Because they got a lot of guys like Guy Santos and Paz that are over leveraged. That the stuff they're doing, let Jimmy Butler do it. Y'all just not do as much. I think the Warriors actually could be much more competitive. They lost a lot of games just because Steph had missed like 30 games and Jimmy, of course, hurt his Achilles. Or not his Achilles, ACL, I think. Um, but in his son's game, I was honestly nervous because I know that the league would have really wanted the Warriors in the playoffs. You get Steph
Um,
and the Warriors. I mean, just TV revenue, just Steph and the Warriors. That's going to bring a lot of eyes. A lot of people are just, oh, Steph in the playoffs. You know what I mean? A lot of people still think you put Steph in the playoffs, you don't know what can happen. I think they would have got blitzed, but regardless, I think it could have been a nice story, like a it could have been like the passing of the torch in a way, right? The Warriors being the last dynasty, the the team that at least right now is wanting to be a dynasty. We'll see what they do in the playoffs and see if they can continue wanting to be a dynasty. It's like, hey, Steph, the two-time MVP, they can embrace Shea and the storyline stuff. The basketball, they were gonna get their ass whooped.
OKC in two.
Right. Um, they're gonna get whooped. But the Suns, specifically my boy, Jalen Green, my guy, he came out giving him belt. I think he hit 8 threes or 7 threes. He was
Yeah,
cooking.
he was hooping. I would say for me, Jalen Green being Jalen Green is not even an X factor. What was the X factor for me? Uh, you know me, I'm a Lakers guy and whatnot.
Jordan Goodwin?
Jordan
Yeah.
Goodwin decides to start hitting a lot of threes all of a sudden.
Oh my
Uh,
God, Jordan Goodwin was hooping. I'm whole time thinking like, dang, wasn't he just on? What?
when he just on the Lakers, right? Not doing none of that. Not
I mean, he
doing none
was
of that.
7 for 11 from the field, 4 for 7 from three, 6 steals. I'm like, oh, hold on, he was
He was hooping X Factor. That's who won Phoenix the game
9
because
rebounds. I'm like,
it,
dog, this is
the
like
Warriors was going tit for tat. They was slowly coming back. Curry started to heat up and stuff, and then Jordan Goodwin late in the game, cash.
Steph came in and like the Warriors immediately went on like a 9-0 run,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, no, no, no. I don't want to see the Warriors in the playoffs. I don't. I really don't. Because I don't want to see them in the playoffs because one, I hate the Warriors and I hate Steph for the Rockets reasons, but also they won like 38 games. Do not let them in the playoffs, bro. Do not. They're not worthy. They won 37 and 45. Do not let this team make it to the playoffs, bro. That's gonna ruin the league, the integrity of the league. Don't let them make the playoffs. I know the league would have won it, but it would have been nasty. The Suns have the reverse record, 45 and 37. Like, come on now. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, even though I hate him, Steph didn't look healthy, right?
Yeah, that collection of players on the Warriors, and then Steph's not looking healthy, which is why I'm like, I don't know if the league would have preferred if the Warriors made it
Just
because
because of Stephen
they
Curry and
didn't
the
look good.
Warriors name, but like the actual basketball, no. It's just the opportunity to, hey, it's the Warriors. The Warriors, OKC. Hey, remember that 10 years ago? Hey, y'all, like
Yeah, OKC and two, but
they would have been showing all the highlights of the series from 10 years ago. Like, oh my
yeah, that's it. Because wasn't gonna be no highlights for this series if they
god,
would have made it.
who that ugly. I mean, yeah, I think the Warrior. See, this collection of the team. I mean, I'm looking at some names. I'm just like, good lord, get rid of some of these guys. Pat Spencer. Um, he's okay, but he didn't play for real. But they got like four guys down here that didn't play. Even though I think Will Richard, he's a decent player, but it's just they're old, and like I said, they really need a player like Jimmy Butler. They need Steph to be healthy. They need Porzingis to be healthy, and I don't know how much longer Al gonna do this. So like,
Jimmy
I
Butler's
think
old too.
yeah, it's gonna be tough. As far as like actually competing, still, I don't think they're even with Jimmy Butler. I don't think they could reach the level of the contenders, but I think they could have been a better team than they were this year. But we don't got to worry about what they're gonna do this year because they are out of the playoffs. So let's now get into the real playoffs. The game, the series that weren't set were that are now set. The Thunder are playing the Suns in the first round. The Spurs are
Mm-hmm.
playing the Blazers. The Pistons are playing the Magic, and the Celtics are playing the 76ers. Let's start with the easy ones. Thunder versus Suns. Me
Easy.
personally,
Oh,
I'm saying easy because I think we both know we both got the Thunder winning, right? It's just in how much. Now, I wrote down Thunder in five, maybe six, and I'm actually predicting six. The problem I don't like. I got a lot of these series. A lot of teams can win a game or two. Um, I could see the Suns winning two games in this series. I also see them getting swept, but I don't think they will get swept. So I got five, maybe six.
I I could see Phoenix actually winning this series with an upset, but I got OKC in six. But if it goes seven, you won't catch me being surprised. This is for OKC. This is not the team that you wanted to play. You would have
I mean,
much rather Portland or the Warriors.
they
This
definitely.
is not the team.
The Suns were the actual seven seed. They were the best of the teams in the play-in by a decent margin. Uh,
Mm.
well, I wouldn't say a decent margin. They lost to the Blazers. You know what I'm saying? I think the Blazers were the other better team in the play-in. Um, but for OKC, the Suns are like, and the Suns have played OKC pretty well this year.
Hmm.
And they have a lot of guys that can just they they are miss. They don't have a point guard. The Suns don't. But then they have a lot. They have Jalen Green who can go out and get a bucket. They got Devin Booker obviously go out and get a bucket. Jordan Goodwin, we saw last night can go get a bucket. Colin Gillespie when he's having a good game. Dylan Brooks, they got a bunch of guys that can. They're a scrappy team. They got a lot of they really play together. But
And
the
they match up
Thunder,
very well against OKC with Jalen Green being healthy, um, and looking like how he did last night. They match up very well with OKC. If I'm OKC, I'm a little worried. That it's very unfortunate. If I'm an OKC fan, I'm worried that this is my first round matchup because this is not the best matchup that you would have wanted.
yeah, but I still think I still think there's a way, like there's a gap. There's a good gap. Now the Thunder just go out just thinking, oh, we just gonna sweep them. Don't think that the Suns are a good enough team to not get swept. But
Mhm.
I don't, I don't know if I see, the Suns extend the series too far. But we both got Thunder in six, but there's a possibility it could, be extended. Um, Spurs versus Blazers. Now this series, I have Spurs in six, but I damn near put Spurs in seven, and because I'm thinking Blazers could also extend this series as well.
I was thinking the exact same thing. These I was thinking the exact same thing. So I was thinking both OKC and San Antonio wanted this to switch. They
Yeah,
wanted
I would say so as well.
OKC wanted Portland and San Antonio would have wanted Phoenix.
I mean,
But
that's what it should have been, but
that's
they're
exactly what
playing.
it should have been.
That's Adam Silver.
This is another horrible matchup, and you know me, it's all about matchups. Playoffs is all about matchups, and this is not a good matchup, especially with what just recently happened to Wemby, and then with the physicality that the referees are seemingly letting them play with in the playoffs. Well, at least in the play-in, is most likely going to carry off into the playoffs as well, especially these game ones. Um, yeah, this is not looking good for San Antonio. I got San Antonio in seven, but I actually think it's going 7 games. I would be
Yeah,
surprised anything less.
I put Spurs in six, and I don't like doing in six because it's like okay, five is a gentleman sweep. I don't have well I do have a sweep in here somewhere. Uh, five is like, oh yeah, they could win, but obviously five is still the other team winning very convincingly. Six is like that right where it's like it was competitive, but the better team definitely won. Seven, it gets really tricky. I'm like, I could see this going seven, just based off first time in the playoffs for the Spurs. I mean, there's a lot of first time guys for the Blazers as well. The Blazers do have some experienced guys, right? They had Drew Holiday. They had
Hmm.
Robert Williams, which I don't even know if he's healthy, honestly. Um, so they got a lot. And then of course they also can. Uh, Drew Holiday being the defender he is and having to guard those young guards for the Spurs. I'm a Stephon Castle fan. I really do not want to see him have a bad playoff series. That would be disappointing. Um,
They got a
um,
good mix of. I think Portland has a good mix of enough young guys to be able to keep up with San Antonio, mixed in with good veteran presence, and experience that can help them extend this series all the way to 7. Like I think is what's going to happen.
I actually that's like one of the series I really want to watch a lot of. Um, One because I want to see how the Spurs are gonna respond to the playoffs, but also um, we got Mitch Johnson, the coach for the Spurs, and then Thiago Splitter coaching the Blazers. I don't know how that's gonna go. Two first time coaches in the playoffs, so we'll see. But we both got the Spurs winning that one. Let's go to the 1-5 or the 1-8 in the Eastern Conference. Pistons versus Magic. Now I have Pistons in 5 or 4. Get the Magic out of here, please.
Yeah, sweep. Just get the broom out. That's gonna
I,
be a sweep. It's gonna be a physical. It's gonna be. I saw
it,
Stan Van Gundy
it
say
could
it's gonna
go.
be
It could
the
go
most
5.
physical.
I can see the Magic having that
Series.
one game where the Pistons just can't make nothing. It's a bad game. K got like 8 turnovers for whatever reason. I'm giving
I
Magic that game. Everything else
Nah. I saw
goes like the
Stan Van Gundy was like, it's gonna be. This is probably gonna be the most physical series we've seen since like the '80s or '90s or whatever, and it probably is. Yep, Detroit in 4.
yeah man. We'll see how it goes on NBA TV, but yeah, I think the Pistons are basically the better version of the Magic. Just
Way.
everything the Magic is good at, which is not a lot. The Pistons is good at it. You know what I mean? So it's like the Pistons are just better.
Mhm.
Hopefully Cade can get all these wins, but still rest up because he's gonna have some bigger fish to fry later in the playoffs.
Oh
And
yeah.
then we got Celtics versus 76, which actually matchup wise is the most interesting, just based off the constructions of the teams.
Yep.
Um, Now Embiid, I don't think he's playing game one, maybe not even
Uh,
game two. So that could, be bad for Philly. But
yeah.
I think talent wise, the teams aren't as far off. I think it's just the reliability of the talent that's the issue. Um, because Philly does
Uh,
have. I mean, it's not a sentence that's never been spoken before. If we had a healthy Embiid in this series, it could be different, right? That's
it,
not
would- it would be different.
because I think a healthy Embiid would fry the bigs I think he was gonna fry the bigs on
On
Boston.
Boston.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
but
the issue is we don't have a healthy Embiid. Man, Boston in four. Boston in four. This is gonna be a sweep. This is gonna be
I
an
got
easy.
Boston in six on here, but I could see the Boston in five. I don't predict a sweep. Like I said, the talent. It's hard to predict a sweep, but if a sweep happens, I'm not about to be like, what? They got swept? What? I'm not gonna do it. I mean the Celtics, I don't think we said this in the video. I think they're my favorite to come out of the East. Um
I
they
got New York.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
Um
that is man, oh man. One thing before you go to the next thing, I saw. I don't know if you saw it, but I saw Kevin Durant hurt something in
we will
practice.
get to that. Oh my we will
Well,
get to that. We will get to that. That's the last
now
thing we're gonna talk about. That's
our
the last
series
thing.
looking a little bit more even now.
We will get to that. We will get to that. Oh my
I
God.
don't know. I don't know if he's playing tonight. I was. I didn't see that he was like out. I saw a game time decision, so I guess we'll see game time if he's playing tonight or not.
We'll talk about it, bro. We'll talk. Um God, that just pissed me off. Anyway, let's stay in the East. Um Knicks versus Hawks. Shout out to the Hawks, man.
Shout out to the Hawks.
You got a good turnaround, man. I got some guys on the team that really impressive. Jalen Johnson, great year. Nikhil, I wanted you on the Rockets, great year for the Hawks. Knicks in five.
You know, the more I at first in the video that didn't come out, I think I said Knicks in six. I think I'm with you, Knicks in five on this one. I think Atlanta has had a good run. I think they get one game. I think they get game one, and then I think New York just
They
takes
had
off from
Trey
there.
Young. I'd say Knicks in six. Or yeah, I'd say Knicks in six. I would predict the Hawks to win game one, but you already know. I think that's the third game on today. I think maybe tomorrow. I don't
Uh,
know.
is it? Yeah, I think it is the third game.
Which pisses me off, but that's beside the point. No, 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 no.
Or is it the second? Because I thought the third game should have been
No, that's the third game. I'm sorry, that's the
Minnesota.
third game.
Oh,
That's
it's the third. Okay, okay. I thought it may have been the Minnesota game.
that's the
Okay.
second game. Um, but the first game of the night or today is the Cavs versus Raptors. And see, in most of these series, the team I'm picking is also the team I'm rooting for to win. Um, in a way, and I am rooting for the Cavs to win this series at least over the Raptors. I just want the Cavs to win it,
Mm-hmm.
partially because my favorite player James Harden's on the team. Uh, but I have this as Cavs in seven,
Whoa, seven. Okay.
and
Um,
I don't think I'm confident in that. But the Cavs are just the right type of team to let a team like the Raptors extend this series way more than they should. The Cavs are the type of team where, I mean, he's my guy. James Harden's gonna have that 3 for 15 game. And then because James Harden's not hooping, he might have like 7 turnovers. Jared Allen might not be doing nothing. And then you gotta allow Donovan Mitchell to do it all. And Donovan Mitchell can't do it all. You just lose that game. And the Raptors, I don't think the Raptors are a contending type of team. They're not a team that's built to last like extended runs in the playoffs. But the first round, this is a type of team that could really make it interesting for whoever they were going to play. Just how physical they can be and the type of player they have. They're long, like wingspan and everything like that. Um, Scotty Barnes can roam around, and I mean, I'm not saying he could be the best player in the series. 'Cause I think Donovan Mitchell will be. But Scotty Barnes for some of these games could be the best player in the games, and just he could do both sides. I'm predicting. You know what I'm predicting? Raptors win game one. Scotty Barnes have a triple double. That's my prediction, and it's something like that. That it is just one game, but that can lead into the momentum of them. When all they got to do is win two more to then 4-7, right? I don't think the Cavs are a possible team to beat. Um, Plus the Cavs are the type of team where they could just have the bad shooting night from everybody, right?
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
Raptors also too.
For me, that X factor is your boy James Harden. For me, that's who
Yeah,
is going. I think that's who it falls down upon, and I think the X factor is James Harden. I'm still sticking with Cleveland in six. This one is weird for me because the matchup for me is weird.
it
I
is a
don't.
weird matchup.
It's a very weird matchup. Like Cleveland. If everybody's firing on all cylinders, everybody's locked in. Cleveland could take care of this in five.
They could.
Um,
They
but
based off the
it,
team that they should have been, this shouldn't be close.
yeah.
But based on the team they have been this year, where yeah, they overall I would say they had a good season, definitely more disappointing than they from what they wanted. And the Raptors overachieved from what they wanted, so it's a little bit of like the Cavs were going a little bit this way, the Raptors are going a little bit that way, maybe not that much, but you know what I mean. Just they're going
Mhm.
upward. Um, it could be an interesting series. It kind of could be like the a few years ago when the Cavs played Orlando, where it's like they should have just beat Orlando like outright, but then ended up going seven. It could be something like
Mhm.
that, where it's like the team that shouldn't have went that far end up forcing seven games.
Yeah.
Um, Also, and I don't think it's that big of a deal. Or at least I don't think it's the biggest home court advantage in the playoffs, but the Toronto atmosphere could, you know, I get weird when it's players that I don't think are the toughest guys, as far as handling pressure when it comes to the moment. I don't think playing Toronto is going to make the moment easier. You know what I mean?
Are you
Um,
talking in regards of role players, or are you talking about a specific
role
star on that
players, role players, but one specific player I'm talking about is Evan Mobley and James Harden. Not that I don't think
team?
James Harden can handle the pressure, but more so like just I could just see a game where the Raptors come out and start the game out on like a 20-5 run, just because the crowd is into it. They're getting real physical, turnover here, turnover there, miss shot. The game get away from the cap. Or I can see games like so that already based off. I think Scotty Barnes could win them game one, and then that first game is around. Like they could after three games be up 2-1, and it's like whoa. But then um. So we both had the Cavs winning that series. To the Western Conference, the last two series in the West, Nuggets versus Timberwolves. We've seen this a bunch of times, and right now it is. Well, it's been two times. Um, they're 1-1.
Hmm.
Unfortunately for the Timberwolves, this is not the year they should have wanted to play. Like I think the Timberwolves, maybe even like last year, could have made this more interesting. This year, though, I don't think the Timberwolves have it. They need They need a better guard. Or not a better guard. They need a point guard, like a legit point guard. Um,
They do. They do.
Honestly, I don't know why they didn't go get Kobe White. Um, I think Kobe White would have been perfect for them.
I don't think Kobe White is a legit point guard.
Well, not maybe not in the point guard sense, but a ball handler that so Anthony Edwards doesn't have to be the pseudo point guard.
Yeah.
Um, but Anthony Edwards is very comfortable playing against the Nuggets, but Nikola Jokic is very comfortable playing against them. Very. I mean, I'm expecting Jokic to. He's gonna fry these dudes, honestly. And the Nuggets, they're on a 12-game win streak heading to the playoffs. They're hot right now. They're healthy for the most part. I got Nuggets in five.
Whoa. Whoa. The health factor that you noted is the biggest factor. Now Minnesota's had some time. And I'm particularly talking about Anthony Edwards because, like I said, I've said this before. When he has returned since that injury, he has not really looked like Anthony Edwards, like the superstar Anthony Edwards. So he's had some more time to kind of heal up a little bit, you know, and I don't, work on his game a little bit, which I don't think his game needs a crazy amount of work, but
Yeah, I
he's
think
had
he's
some
pretty good
time.
there. Yeah, I,
Right. He just if he is the superstar that we all know and love, Anthony Edwards, I this one's going 7. Just flat out, it's going 7. If Anthony Edwards is not, I am with you, Denver in 5. If it goes 7, I think Denver is going to take this one, regardless. But if Anthony Edwards is, good to go and he's back to his normal play, yeah, this is going 7. I got Denver in 7. If not, I got Denver in 5 with you. If Anthony Edwards is not.
yeah, and it's a knee injury. And right here I'm seeing it says he's questionable. For game one. Um, I don't have no doubts that he's gonna play, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think the way see the Nuggets typically in the playoffs, the first round don't look all that good for them, right? Unless they are playing against the Lakers.
All right.
So I could see Jamal Murray not being the player Jamal Murray was all season, in the first round. I could see the role players kind of being a little, tricky in the first few games, maybe. But overall, I think Jokic, I think is just too comfortable playing against these guys. They play each other so much. They've played each other so much over the last few years, and Jokic just cooked them every time. Hopefully Rudy Gobert can try to stop it a little bit, but it gets
Look, 12,
ugly.
12 game win streak doesn't bode well for you, though.
Well, I mean,
Loss is brewing, is due.
they definitely. I mean, I don't think they're about to go undefeated, right, during the rest of the playoffs. That would be insane. But it's one thing where it's like, if this game was, let's say, 'cause what's today, Saturday? If this game happened on Tuesday, when the Denver still had the momentum and everything like that, I think this would get real, real ugly, just because of how hot they are. But then, basically being a week off, um, they sat their guys the last like 2 games, so it's like Minnesota could catch a game. I don't think they're gonna win game one. I think they could catch like game two, send it back 1-1 in Minnesota. I'm not saying it like you said how you could see it going 7, just based off the teams knowing each other so well. I can see this extending more than it should, but I think the Nuggets are just on a mission this year. They're like just this year they're so far superior to what the Timberwolves have been, and I think the Nuggets aren't looking past Minnesota because they know what they got to deal with in the second round possibly, but I think they're gonna want to try to get them out of here as quick as they can, so they don't have. Cause what you don't want to do is go 7 games in Minnesota, and then next round you got to play Wemby and the Spurs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we both got the Nuggets winning that one. The last series to talk about, the last game of the night. See, I was excited about this series until about like I don't even know what time the notification hit my phone. It was like 8 something. Oh
Yeah.
my god, bro! So Rockets versus Lakers. We all know that Austin Reeves and Luca are not playing in game one. Um, I honestly think I've seen something that Luca might not play this whole series, possibly, or at least Austin Reeves might not.
I would say right now, with like 95% confidence, for at least the first 3 games, they are both out. Now we'll see, what Luca. How I think Luca comes back before AR, but we'll see how Luca does. I wouldn't be surprised if like, oh, Luca's coming back for game 4 or 5, especially if we're facing elimination. I think he's just gonna be like, you know what, I don't care. Let's come on, let's go. So
Yeah, if by game five you guys are down 3-1, Luca sit down. But if it's like 2-2, right, and it's
mm,
like you know might be game time decision, see how you really feel. But the news that hit my phone last night is that Kevin Durant had a knee contusion or something like that.
mm.
And he's questioned play against the Lakers, which is what was he doing? Why is he hurt? What was he doing?
Practice. I watched our video, the Lakers video of what they were doing in practice, and the scrimmage that they had, and some of the other drills that they were doing. And I mean, there's a possibility if they were scrimmaging and it's they trying to bring that playoff atmosphere in the scrimmage. There's a possibility that somebody could get hurt. So it's definitely unfortunate. It's crazy. Uh, if he doesn't play, this would be a weird like prime time game.
It's gonna be an ugly game to watch, and I'm a Rockets fan. Like, I'm gonna be sitting here watching the game, and I'm like, see, the problem is the games against y'all that happened a few weeks ago, the two games that everybody in the world watched, where y'all whooped our ass. Um, Kevin Durant was the player that's like, okay, he's getting hounded. But also,
hmm
y'all had Luca. But then I'm like, okay, we're playing against y'all without Luca. So that 40 points, take that off the table. At least like divvy it up somewhere else. They're gonna have to find that somewhere else. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
okay, Kevin Durant, not that he's gonna be able to I think y'all still gonna try to guard him the exact same way. But
hmm
y'all don't also have 40 points coming on the other end. So I'm like, maybe it could
Yeah.
balance out. But then if he's out, I don't know what I don't know. I think we
That's
still
what. That's why I'm like, where's who's gonna create that offense? Because a man just he offensive rebound, get a putback and stuff like that. Here and there gets a lane to the basket, but who's creating offense for you guys?
well, I know who's gonna try to create the offense. It's gonna be
Reed Shepard.
no, it's gonna be Alperen Şengün. It's not gonna look good. I don't know. I mean, it says he sustained the injury during practice this week, but the Rockets are optimistic and he will not be a significant issue during the series. I don't know. I think we still like we're definitely still more athletic than you guys.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially, I mean, take Kevin Durant out. It's not. I think Kevin Durant's still a really good athlete, but I think taking that 26 out of our offense, he is. I mean, he's super important to our offense. I mean, he's been here 78 games this year. We've relied on him consistently. I mean, and then the fact that we don't even have like the other things that can make us good outside of Kevin Durant scoring, like the Steven Adams not being there, to where he can't get offensive rebounds off of misses. Because Kevin Durant is efficient in the offense that we can get. Give him the ball and he can go get 26 for us. But now it's like, okay, we gotta hope and pray that everyone's hitting their shots and the game's on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm very worried. I'm very worried about Jabari, Reed Shepard, Tari Eason. I'm just like I'm predicting the three of them have a bad shooting night one of these games if Kevin Durant's not playing. So I really, really need Kevin Durant to get back as soon as possible. But besides that, I still have Rockets and I have Rockets and six here written down. Honestly, I don't even know if I can believe that anymore. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I got us in 7.
Of
I
course you do.
think
I mean, it's not. I'm not surprised.
yeah. I mean, it's not a surprise. Look, I'm not definitely not calling this game 4, 5, or 6. It's definitely I think it's a 7 game series, especially after hearing this Kevin Durant news and with how JJ's defensive plan is basically like you said to hound Kevin Durant. So you never know, hounding bump that knee, and it's like he got to go to the bench real quick. So that'll keep games close for us, getting that scoring out of the game. We'll see if he played game 1. I think we grabbed game 1. Um,
Well, I was thinking y'all was gonna lose game one, right, in the LeBron fashion, the fill out game. Um, but then now I'm just like, I don't know. I think y'all
no,
could win game one, and it's gonna
this
piss me off a
one will
lot.
be different. Yep, this one will be different. I've watched obviously our last couple games without Luca to see okay how are we really going to look with obviously LeBron being our number one and then heading to the playoffs without Luca and AR. And I'm not like completely like, man, no, like I'm scared. Like, no, I'm not scared. I'm not completely scared. Luke Kennard has surprisingly changed. Like JJ obviously made him change his role a bit, and he surprisingly played very well in this somewhat changed role. um, like he more so stepped into that Austin Reeves role, and with his already great shooting ability, it works. Like it
Luke Kennard
works.
was a bucket in college. People forget that just because he's a mainly a shooter. He was a bucket in college.
Yeah. But putting Luke Kennard being more on ball dominant, yeah, it works. The only thing is, one thing that you talked about with the Toronto series that I am worried about for a lot of our guys on the Lakers is the pressure. And even though we are at home, it's just still playing in LA, being on a team with
Yeah,
LeBron. You just expectation, the Laker expectation. It's a lot of pressure on those players, especially being in that spot. So I am worried about Luke Kennard, Jake LaRabia. I'm always worried about Rui Hachimura. I'm always worried about Rui. Rui don't know what the hell he's doing at any point in time on the court. And, when you watching the game tonight, I want as soon as Rui is in the game, they're gonna pan the camera to him. He's gonna be like, "Woo!" and it's gonna be LeBron or JJ Redick yelling at him like, "Why are you not doing what you need to do?" Uh, so yeah, but I'm just worried about a couple of those guys on our sideline. But I think we grab game one tonight, especially if Kevin Durant doesn't play.
yeah. And then a matchup that I honestly don't know why I should be worried about it. Well, at least I know why I should be worried about it, but I don't like that I'm worried about it. Is Aiden versus Shingun.
Mm-hmm.
Shingun should torch him, right? But Aiden's a bigger player than him, right? I'm sure they're gonna try to. I think Aiden's gonna like block Shingun, shot. You know, he gonna swat his shit at least one good time, and they're gonna be like, you know what? Let's switch that matchup. Let's get him off him. They're gonna try to get Rui on Shingun. I think Shingun gonna torch Rui. Um, but yeah, I mean, I still got Rockets at 6. I think we should win the series, especially considering the injuries you guys have. But now us having an injury, we'll see. I know who the league will want to win this series, but
Oh,
I got the
of course,
Rockets
us.
winning it. Not sure if that's my bias or the basketball reasons, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, the playoffs is set. The playoffs is gonna start here in the next few hours with Cavs versus Toronto with the first game. Um, I'm really interested to see how these game ones are gonna go. It's not many times I'm home to watch game ones of all these series. Um, to all you all watching, we will maybe not tonight, but maybe after all the game ones happen, we'll give our reactions and everything like that to see if we changed our feelings based on what happened in game one.
Mm.
Yeah, with all that being said, you got anything else?
Nope.
All right,
Ready for
man.
the playoffs, man.
I'm ready for it, man. This is the best part of the season. Um, so yeah, with all that being said, man, thank you for watching. This has been Hard Truth Hoops. I'm that's McCaven. I'm Anthony. Um, make sure you like, subscribe, share the video. But with all that being said, man, thank you for coming to the Unapologetic Sports Network. Have a good one.